What's up, Jaguar fam? This is Left Side of the Brain. Today, I want to talk to you about the myth of justice. That's right. But before we start, go ahead, hit that likes button, hit the subscribe button. This is Left Side of the Brain. Now, right now we are living in a time where we have a lot of protests taking place. People, they real big on this social justice wave right now. But it dawned upon me that there is no such thing as justice as it relates to the HPB realm, the human prison bar realm. There is no such thing as justice. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because everything as it relates to the HPB realm is merely a component of the person's mind. It's all subjective to the current temperature of things. Had to let the lady pass with the little dog. But it's all subjective to the current temperature of things. What I mean by temperature is simply this. In the HPB realm, everything is moderated based upon the amount of programming that is released into the system over time. Case in point, let's take the homosexuality thing, for instance. Years ago, homosexuality was considered a mental disorder. But during the time when homosexuality was considered a mental disorder, the people of the world during that time, they were not programmed to believe that homosexuality was normal. You get what I'm saying? But over time, they were conditioned to accept it. So that's what I mean by the justice is moderated based upon a temperature control. It's not based upon anything that's concrete that can't be changed. It's moderated over time. So as you see today, homosexuality is accepted. And if you say something against it, you are deemed a Islamophobe. Not Islamophobe, I mean a homophobe, which means someone who has the fear of homosexuality. So, with that being said, everything is just like that example I gave you when it comes to justice. Justice is a myth. It's all about what the people feel is right at any given moment. I'm gonna give you another example. Slavery, for instance. At one point in this world, the institution of slavery was considered just. The country allowed it to take place, not just in the United States. Different countries all over the world, they allowed slavery to take place. They could use religious writings to justify slavery. In fact, even to this day, in some countries around the world, slavery is still permitted. Like in some Islamic countries, slavery is still permitted. To someone outside of those sectors of the world, they would say it's not just. But that's only because in the area where you live, the temperature scale has been moderated to fit and align with any paradigm that they are trying to introduce at the moment. So this is what y'all have to understand about this whole social justice thing. Justice in this HPB realm, it has to conform to the sole purpose of the HPB realm. If it doesn't fit what they are trying to do or their objective, then they don't care how much you protest. See, even when they make certain laws and it seems like your protesting worked and it was beneficial, best believe any law that they pass, it will line up with the objective of the HPB realm. So this social justice thing, it's a myth. It's being modulated and controlled by the HPB realm. There is no way out of it. They create the laws. They create what is just. Like the examples I gave. At any moment, the paradigm of thinking of people can be changed to fit any narrative that the overseers are trying to push at the moment. They control what you think is justice or injustice. You get what I'm saying? So with that, you have to understand that since justice is a myth and is all subjective in the mind, guess what? That means we really live in a lawless society. And that confirms what we always say on this channel, that at the end of the day, everything is about what? Violence and manipulation. Because this so-called justice system, like I just explained, is constantly being modulated, and changed. Therefore, it fits one of the two things that control this world, which is manipulation. The other piece to the puzzle is violence. Justice is enforced by what? When you go into a courtroom, who do they have in the courtroom? Who they have in the courtroom? They have the sheriff, right? The sheriff. He has a gun. Violence. Lawyers can manipulate the law. They can pay the judge. Even when you're in a courtroom, even though it's written on paper that this is the law and this is the way it should go, they have so many ways to manipulate that. They can manipulate evidence. They can do all type of things to change up a story. They can even have key witnesses killed. That's right. If you know too much, they can have you killed. If you say too much, they can have you killed. So the whole thing about justice and all of this, it's a myth. It's not real. What's just today may change tomorrow, considering upon who is in authority at the time. You get what I'm saying? If another nation came and, let's say, overthrew the United States and set up another system different than democracy, then guess what? That new system would be the new justice of the land. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So this justice thing is a myth. So that's why really the social justice movement is not changing anything. Due to what? Something else we talked about. Due to what? The law of time and placement. Now we won't go over that in this video, the law of time and placement, but we will speak on it briefly. Because of the law of time and placement, the social justice movement is a waste of time. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this generation will be replaced 100 years from now. So everything that they think they work for, the next generation, the time and placement of the next generation can erase everything that they work for. Even in this generation, once the baby boomer generation, as you see, your parents, the baby boomer generation, things that they didn't stand for, because you have a younger generation that has been programmed to believe differently, to be more like liberal, certain things that was once considered unjust and abnormal is being replaced with a new liberal type of view of the world. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why you don't have anything except the truth, like we always say, to fall back on. Because in this world, justice is based upon the emotions of the individual. They don't care about facts at the end of the day. We already see that, how they have these new transgender laws and saying that you have these male and female restrooms, even though science proves that if you are born a man, you are a man. But if you say something against that, that's considered injustice and discriminatory, even though the science goes against it. That's just a case in point to show that it's all emotional. It has nothing to do with science. It has nothing to do with facts. Justice is based upon the emotions of the individual or groups of individuals based upon their programming. You can program a person to believe anything is justice or injustice. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So that's why when you're living in a world where there is no set rules for justice and is not determined by anything that's concrete, that lets you know that you are living in a lawless society. That also lets you know that this whole thing about civilized is a myth as well. We are not civilized, people. Hate to tell y'all that we are not civilized. Now, the only people that are civilized is the Jaguar community, and we can boast about this proudly. We are different than them. You know, I don't need their system of justice. I follow the truth. The truth is the things that I break down on this channel. That's the only real justice that exists. Everything else outside of that is emotional and based upon violence and manipulation. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So erase that little idea in your mind that we live in a just world. Erase that idea in your mind that we live in a civilized world. We don't. So erase it out of your mind. And we already broke down the reasons why they do things that you think is beneficial. They only pretend like they are here to help people when it's beneficial to them. When the human prison bar realm, when they determine that human life is no longer necessary for them to suck off of, because we say that the human prison bar realm is what? Parasitical in nature. The moment they discover another species greater than humans who they can suck off of and be parasites off of, they will get rid of us immediately. So don't think that they trying to create a coronavirus because they want to save humanity. It's never about saving you. If they found another planet tomorrow where there was another race of humans or human-like creatures where they could build up the same system of slavery based off of egotism, they would leave us tomorrow. And you know what? Thank you, Spirit. I believe that that is exactly what the NASA space program is really about. They are really trying, but see, that'll be another subject. Don't y'all forget to remind me about it. That's going into something else. But I'm gonna just drop this. That's what I believe that the whole NASA space program thing is about. Them finding another civilization, because this world is about to be destroyed by a comet or whatever. They already know. They got Hubble telescopes. They can see things approaching, and they can see that the inevitable doom for this world is at hand. They trying to escape it. They know. So I believe that's what that whole NASA space thing is about. They trying to get away from this. And they making us think that, oh, they care about us, and it was wrong the way they killed that man, and they want us to really think that they care about that stuff. They don't care about any of that. And that's why I said the last video that I don't care about this world. I don't care about people who don't get the message, because at the end of the day, I wasn't created to care about them. You get what I'm saying? They don't care about me. It's impossible for someone that's ignorant to care about us, to care about an individual who has the truth. Even if it's your family, they don't care about you, because the dividing point between you and them is ignorance and intelligence. Once you expose who you really are, you're going to reveal that you're not a human prison bar. And then when it's time to decide between them living and you, because they about to create new laws and stuff that says that if you're not down with the system, you can't eat, you can't do anything, you can't come into federal buildings. You think they're gonna go along with us? No, they're gonna say bye-bye. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. That's what they're gonna do. So I just want y'all to know that the times we living in are very revealing. This is 2020, like we always say. When we was back in 2018, we were saying 2020 back then. I was saying 2020 vision, everything is out in the open now. And this corona thing, this plays right into my hands, because I don't like showing my face anyway. Like someone commented one time, and they said that to me in the comment section. I was like, yeah, you're right. This is exactly, something else. This mask is very telling of what I've been doing all along. It's almost like a subliminal cue that I was dropping in my videos before the corona broke out. Because y'all remember, I was the first person on YouTube wearing a mask. That was a subliminal message, whether I was aware of it or whether you was aware of it, that the corona thing was about to break out. That was a subliminal message in the videos. I told y'all, these videos have subliminals, they have synchronicities in them as well. Don't sleep on left side of the brain. I'm trying to tell you. So I want to leave y'all with that. I had that mask on way before the coronavirus thing took place. I want y'all to remember that. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Is left side on point? Once again, what do you have to add to what I just said? I want to hear what y'all say, and leave good comments for the people to read. Not just me. I like to see y'all speak to each other and add your input. So I'm about to upload this. Tell me what y'all think. Hit the likes button. Hit the subscribe button. This is Left Side of the Brain signing out. Justice is a myth. Don't believe that lie. There is no such thing as justice in this world. And this is Left Side of the Brain signing out.